What's good? So Chef Baller here with another video, and today I'm going to be making pot roast. But as you can see, I'm already out here in this beautiful background. We just came off of the lake and now I'm hungry. So give me about 5 minutes and I'll be right back. Just got to go pick up some ingredients. See you at the house. Boom, bang, bing, bang, bang!
Chef Baller is the champion cook in your town. Outside of skills, he's just fun to be around. Dependable and mobile, quick to reach your door. You lick your fingers and ask for more.
Okay guys, so to make this delicious pot roast, we're just going to cut up a few vegetables, some onion, carrots, celery. And as far as this onion, this is a white onion. You could use yellow, any kind, because it's actually going to, cook down with the pot roast. The chop that we're going to put on this is just a basic rough chop. We don't need to go crazy. I'm just going to saute these in when we're making the pot roast. So, it could be smaller than this if you want, could be bigger. It really does not matter at all. And as far as the celery goes now, I'm going to keep a few pieces large just to throw in there. And then again, I'm going to cut some in a dice to do the exact same thing. This is going to go in with the onions and stuff initially to kind of cook it down. You guys doing it, you do it however you want. And of course, we have to have some carrots. The carrots, I'm going to peel these and probably just keep them whole. I got an odd thing that I do. I like to put the carrots down and then put the roast on top of it so that the roast is not exactly sitting in the pan after the sear. Don't ask me why. It's just something that I've always done, and I just think it gets the steam underneath the roast to give it a more even cooking. And of course, we're just gonna cut some ginger. This we don't even need to peel. This is a beautiful ginger that I just got from one of my friends' farm. I can't wait for them to figure out how to let the aromas go through the screen. Absolutely smells delicious. So we're gonna start with a 3-pound chuck roast. This is the same cut that's been feeding families for centuries. And just generously season it with our seasoning blend, which I'll put in the caption below so you guys can see what's in there. And we're just going to use some coarse sea salt. There's something really magical about pot roast. The way you can just transform a tough, humble cut of beef into like this succulent, fork tender perfection. Nothing really beats this. And let me just give you a little history about pot roast. It didn't actually originate in America like what a lot of people think. It actually comes from French braising, okay? Now, when you're seasoning a roast like this, because it's an inexpensive cut, it needs a lot of seasoning, so when we do the sear, it really holds in that flavor, but you gotta make sure that you season it generously, I should say. Make sure you get the seasoning in all of the cavities. When I make the pimento pot roast, I actually poke little holes in there and then stick my fingers in with the seasoning and the pimento and everything. So you could even do that with this if you want to. But we're pretty much done now, and we got to go ahead and get the sear on it, which is an important step in making pot roast. We're going to use our Dutch oven, which is basically just a pot that can go in the oven. So let me give you an interesting fact about the Dutch oven. Despite its name, it was actually invented by an Englishman named Abraham Darby in 1708. He called it Dutch because he was inspired by the Dutch brass working techniques he's seen when he was traveling all over the world. So what we're going to do, we're going to make sure we get a sear on all sides of this, because the searing step is crucial. What you're doing, you're actually building all of the flavors. Just look at that golden crust. This is what we want, a deep brown golden color on all sides. The caramelized proteins will dissolve into our braising liquid and create that incredible flavor of depth that we're looking for. Onions are going to go into that beautiful fond, and the celery that we had cut up, and the little brown bits that are stuck to the bottom of our pan, they're just going to give it a really wonderful flavor. And here I'm just adding some beef bouillon and then some tomato paste to build a better and stronger body. Add a little bit of W sauce, and this is going to help us create that rich dark gravy that we're after. Then I'm going to just put in the carrots. Remember, I'm going to put the roast on top of these carrots. Add our knob of ginger, and we're just going to build our flavor up. And then put the roast on top. And, a lot of times you can use red wine to make this gravy and then add your beef broth to it if you want a really more complex flavor. I don't have any red wine, so we'll just go ahead and use a regular low sodium beef broth. The reason why I use low sodium is just that I'm going to add seasoning to it. I want to be able to control it. So we'll use the rest of the seasoning that we have, and go ahead and get that built up, the flavors. We're gonna add a little bit of thyme and a Scotch bonnet. You know, I have these in the backyard. I gotta use them, so you don't need to do it. And then the rest of our ingredients, the vegetables that we cut up earlier, that's just the celery and the garlic and then the onion. And then I'm putting in a little bit of browning. If you had the red wine, you don't need to do this. Technically, you don't even need to do this at all. This is just me to make sure it gets a deeper color. That's all I want to do. And then we're gonna go ahead and put this in the oven for 325 for about 3 hours. I'm gonna take a quick swim, guys. All right, let's go. Okay, so it's been about 2 hours and maybe 15 minutes. I'm just gonna go ahead and check it, taste the seasoning, adjust it accordingly, and then add our potatoes so it's more like a classic pot roast. You want to make sure you cook this low and slow. If you cook it on high heat, it's just gonna get really tough and stringy. The Dutch oven gives it the perfect environment because it gives it an even distribution of heat and it holds the moisture. Now I'm gonna add this prime rib seasoning. It doesn't have any salt in it. It's just to give it an extra kick, and some pimento seeds to give it a little bit more flavor. And then I'm putting in some red and purple potatoes, and I'll put it back in the oven for another 45 minutes or so. All right, so 45 minutes later, guys, here we are. There you go. Look at this, done. Just coming apart nice. Oh my goodness, my mouth is watering. I can't wait. And you're done. This is the easiest pot roast. And I bet you didn't know that pot roast was actually considered a fancy dish in the 1920s. All of the high-end restaurants were selling what they call a Yankee pot roast as a premium dish. And it wasn't until the 1940s or so that it became associated with cooking at the house and comfort food. So now I'm just gonna get all of those stuff out and make a little gravy out of the braising liquid that we had. Just add a knob of butter to a pan, real simple. We're not gonna do too much. Take that gravy and just go ahead and let it simmer down and reduce. Add a little bit of a cornstarch slurry, which is just cornstarch with some water that you mix together. You make sure you have to mix it so that way it doesn't lump up. That's a secret, guys, if you don't know that. A lot of people just throw it straight in there and then they have a bunch of lumps. That's not the way you do it. And then let me just go to the back real quick to have some parsley. And the parsley we're just gonna use as a garnish to throw on the top of the roast, you know, just to give it some color and flavor. And look at this. Oh my goodness. Look at that gravy. Absolutely delicious, guys. You're definitely gonna thank me later. So just give me a like or a comment, anything. I appreciate it all. And check out my next video. One love.